We are all flawed. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius put it, there is a difference between someone with flaws who tries their best and someone who is constantly malicious. It's a sad fact that some people only want the worst to happen to those around them. These people will hurt you and anyone else they can, sometimes because of traumas in their own lives, and sometimes because of personality disorders. Either way, you should learn to stay away from these people. But if you know what to look for, here are 5 signs that you're dealing with someone who isn't helpful to you. This not only helps you see and accept your flaws, but it also changes how you see and understand the people around you. It's not to build a wall of separation, but to gain a better understanding of the world, so you can live a more peaceful and worthwhile life through today's video. So that none of us have to walk in the dark without the light of truth and knowledge, let's take a trip to look at the 5 signs that you're dealing with a bad person through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Number 1. The urge to control. People are always looking for power and control. Maybe that's just part of being human, the need to be in charge. But looking at things through the lens of Stoic thought gives us a different view. Truly controlling others doesn't come from having power over them. It comes from being able to manage your own feelings and responses to the world around you. Stoic philosophy talks about this inner strength that comes from realizing and accepting that the only thing we can truly control is how we see things and how we respond to them. Everything else, from other people's actions to natural events, is out of our hands. In relationships, control is often hidden as care or love. Someone may think they're doing what's best for the other person when they try to guide or protect them, but Stoicism says that each person can only be the master of their own behavior. This behavior can show up in many ways, such as unwarranted jealousy or demands for unfair changes or limits on personal freedom. It shows that the controller is insecure and afraid, as well as selfish and lacking a deep knowledge of what love and freedom really mean. Even worse, control only causes pain and hurts others. It creates an unseen wall between people, breaking down trust and connection. Its effects go beyond emotional loss. They also affect self-esteem and personal growth on both sides. Stoic philosophy tells us to understand and accept things as they are. Accept that everyone has the right to freedom and self-mastery, and work on controlling our own thoughts and actions in order to live a freer and more meaningful life. Jack and Julia's relationship started out based on deep trust and love. But over time, Jack started to feel an unnamed fear of losing Julia, as he tried to protect her from imagined risks and dangers. Jack slowly became controlling. He spoke out against some of Julia's friends, saying they were bad for her. He was also unhappy with her close friends' choices, saying he only wanted her to be respected. Sadly, these actions weren't based on love, but on fear and a need to be in charge. At first, Julia tried to understand and even change to please Jack, but his control and suspicion grew with each day. Julia felt like she was losing her personal space and freedom, which led to heated arguments, with Julia feeling stifled and Jack desperately trying to hold on to what he was most afraid of losing. Over time, the relationship became tense and full of stress. Jack's need to be in charge showed that he was insecure, and was also the main reason why Julia and Jack both felt like they were no longer in charge of their own lives. Julia decided it was time to take back her freedom and self-respect. A relationship that had been full of love and hope had turned into a painful lesson in how important it is to trust others and have personal freedom and love. One of the great Stoic philosophers said, "Can you no longer see a road to freedom? It's right in front of you. All you have to do is turn over your wrists." By saying this, he emphasized that we all have the power to choose how to deal with and accept life. Are you trying to control the things you can't change? Are you honoring and accepting the freedom of others? Stoic thought is more than just a way to live. It also helps us remember our inner strength. In the next part, Facing and Overcoming Challenges, we'll talk more about how to use these lessons to find peace and inner strength and become the best versions of ourselves. Number 2, the mask of charm. Imagine, out of all the people and relationships you meet, you accidentally enter a magical land. That's where the first look sets your heart on fire. There's an instant attraction when someone catches your attention with their alluring charm and irresistible allure. This isn't just instant attraction. It's a deep-seated instinct in all of us to connect, to be accepted, and to be loved. But when we look more closely at Stoic philosophy, we see a different picture. A world where autonomy and wisdom are the keys to unlocking truth. Beyond the glittering façade, we see the true nature full of the secrets of those we thought had enchanted us. The mask of allure isn't just an outer shell. It's a way for others to attract and even control us. These people often act like they are caring, attentive, and always willing to help. But sometimes their actions are motivated by selfishness or even malice. According to Stoicism, we should carefully observe and analyze both the outside world and ourselves. When we see someone attractive, Stoicism tells us to ask ourselves if they really care about our well-being, or if their actions are just part of a bigger plan to get what they want. There is a big difference between genuine allure and deceptive allure, and it has to do with the intention and result of the action. Someone who is truly kind and caring won't try to take advantage of their kindness. It's also common for people who use allure to get what they want to only think about themselves. Stoicism stresses how important it is to trust your feelings and look for warning signs. During interactions, the mask of allure will sometimes start to slip, showing the person's true intentions. This means we have to stay alert and not be fooled by empty promises or shiny appearances. Consider the case of Mark, a successful businessman who always seems happy to share his experiences and offer help to his co-workers. However, as time goes on, some of Mark's co-workers start to notice a pattern in his behavior. Mark's help often comes with implicit expectations. For example, he helped a co-worker finish a difficult project only to later hint that they owed him a favor. Another time, he volunteered to lead a new work group only to then use the group's success as a stepping stone for his career. These are not random acts of kindness. They are carefully planned steps towards building a virtual network of indebtedness through which Mark can slowly get what he wants. People around him start to feel uneasy when they realize that his charming appearance could just be a mask that hides the fact that he doesn't want to help people, but rather control and profit from their social relationships. There will always be people with charm, whether they are telling the truth or not. But in Stoic philosophy, we learn the value of self-awareness and independence, which not only protects us from bad influences but also helps us grow as people and understand them better. Your opinion is important to us. Have you ever met someone who used their charm to get what they wanted? How can we learn to tell the difference between genuine charm and dishonesty, especially in the workplace today? Please share your thoughts and ideas in the area below the video. People who carry darkness within them often show behavior and thoughts that don't fit with the ideas of kindness and empathy. Recognizing these people and protecting yourself from their harmful effects is not only an art, but also a necessary self-defense measure. But how can we accurately recognize these signs? We need to learn how to see and deal with this truth in a calm and steady way. Let's look at a key sign that you're dealing with a bad person and learn how to avoid being fooled. Number 3, the absence of empathy. Think about a situation at work where a cold and uncaring CEO doesn't show empathy for an employee who is having personal problems. After the employee told the CEO that he was taking care of a seriously ill family member, the CEO still wanted him to work extra hours and wouldn't let him take any time off, saying that work always comes first. This shows that the CEO doesn't care about the employee's health or well-being. Instead, he only cares about the job's short-term benefits, ignoring the employee's basic needs and humanity. This lowers the morale of the workers and causes them to lose trust in their boss, which breaks down the relationship between the boss and worker. It's more important than ever to keep a balance between reason and feeling. Stoic philosophy gives us the tools to deal with these problems in a meaningful and successful way. Dealing with people who don't understand us is one of the biggest problems we face in our personal and professional lives. This tests our patience and toughness, and makes us think about how we should act and stick to our morals and principles when things get tough. Lack of compassion shows up in many ways, including actions and words, but its real effects are much deeper and last longer. It not only hurts and stresses out the people who are directly affected, but it also makes the workplace less safe and trusting, which leads to less creativity and productivity. This shows that even if you try to ignore or accept a lack of empathy, its effects will stay with you and hurt you in any situation. The most important thing we can control is how we react to it. When you see a lack of empathy, try to look at it objectively and not let your negative feelings get in the way. When you show care and understanding to yourself and others, you'll see that we're all going through our own struggles, and that compassion is the key to getting past division and pain. Sebastian, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said that how you deal with things is more important than what you deal with. This sentence emphasizes that we have the power and ability to choose how we react in every situation, even when we are going through hard times. This not only helps us get through them, but it also makes us a source of inspiration and strength for those around us. In life, we will inevitably meet people who lack compassion. However, by applying the principles of Stoicism, we can learn to consciously perceive and deal with these situations in a patient and compassionate way. This not only helps us protect and nurture our moral integrity, but it also helps make the world a better place where compassion and mutual understanding are valued and fostered. So, the next time you are dealing with someone who lacks compassion, ask yourself how you can actively practice compassion not only toward others, but also toward yourself. In what situations do you find it hardest to stay compassionate? What can help us get through these challenges? We hope this video was helpful to you. If you like this message and want to help us, please like and share the movie with your friends. Together, we can make the community stronger and better. Empathy is being able to understand and share someone else's thoughts. People need to be able to connect with each other, and this is true in both personal and professional interactions. On the other hand, not having understanding can cause big problems. Lack of empathy can show up as disinterest, selfishness, or not being able to understand how other people feel. This lesson talks about what it means to not have empathy, what causes it, and how Stoicism can help us develop empathy and kindness in our daily lives. Understanding where the lack of empathy comes from. Psychological factors. Some mental illnesses, like narcissistic personality disorder or autism spectrum disorder, can make it harder for someone to understand how others feel. These situations often make it hard to understand or react to other people's feelings. Environmental factors. Being traumatized, neglected, or growing up in a bad social setting can make it harder to develop empathy. People may find it hard to understand and connect with others' feelings if they grow up in places that don't value emotional communication and understanding. Cultural and social norms. Feelings may be laughed off or seen as weak in some countries or social settings. This can make people less likely to show empathy, which can make them less connected to or interested in other people. Changes in society and relationships. Relationships with other people. Not having empathy can make relationships difficult by causing misunderstandings, fights, and mental distance. People may not be able to help and understand each other enough to build strong relationships if they don't have empathy. Professional settings. Being empathetic is important for teamwork, leadership, and solving problems when there are disagreements. A toxic work atmosphere where people feel unappreciated and disconnected can happen when people don't show empathy. Effects on society. On a larger level, society's lack of concern for the problems of disadvantaged groups can keep unfairness and inequality going. Social cooperation and working together to solve social problems depend on people having empathy. Thoughts on empathy from a Stoic. Realizing that we are all human. Stoicism tells us that we are all connected to each other as people. Marcus Aurelius said that we can understand others better if we look at things from their point of view and remember that we all have similar human experiences. By noticing the things we have in common, we can develop a more caring attitude. Managing judgments. Stoics say not to judge people too quickly and to try to figure out why other people do the things they do. Epictetus said that we should be interested in other people's actions and try to figure out why they do what they do before making opinions. Emotional equilibrium. Stoics think that emotions should be kept in check. This concept can help us act calmly and clearly when other people are upset, instead of letting our own feelings take over. Stoic practices can help you develop empathy, mindfulness, and reflection. Thinking about interactions and reactions every day can help you see when you didn't show enough empathy. Writing in a journal and meditating can help you learn more about yourself and your emotions. Perspective taking. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes can help you understand their point of view more deeply. Compassionate action. Stoics stress how important it is to help other people. By doing nice things for other people and being helpful, we can improve our ability to understand and care about them. How to get over not having empathy. How to improve your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EI, means being able to recognize, understand, and control your own and other people's feelings. Increasing our emotional intelligence, EI, can help us be more empathetic by making us more aware of and better able to respond to others' feelings. Active listening means paying full attention, understanding, and responding to what other people are saying during a talk. By really listening, we can understand their feelings and points of view better, which helps us connect with them more deeply. Engaging with different points of view. Being exposed to different cultures, points of view, and situations can help you understand and care about others more. This variety helps get rid of biases and encourages a more open and caring attitude. Not having empathy can have big effects on our relationships, our jobs, and society as a whole. We can develop a more caring and understanding way of life by learning about its roots and following Stoic ideals. Empathy not only makes our relationships with others stronger, it also fits with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with the fact that we are all human. We can make the world a better place for empathy by being aware, seeing things from other people's points of view, and acting with kindness. Number 4. The web of lies. Has your heart ever swelled up when you saw someone acting badly because they meant to hurt you? They always use lies to get what they want, which is to scare people. They are not because they hurt other people. Their lies turn into sharp weapons, a way to hide the truth and cleverly control and trick other people. Pathological lying is marked by uncontrollable repetition that is often not needed. It is done for a secret reason, usually to gain power or avoid taking responsibility. Some examples of bad behavior are telling stories that don't make sense and acting out when they are questioned about the truth at work. When people lie at work, it can have very bad effects. Not only does it make the workplace toxic, but it also hurts trust between coworkers, which can lower morale and productivity. Those who lie Stoic philosophy suggests that we should be calm and sensible. It tells us not to let our feelings cloud our judgment in answer to their lies. Stoicism tells us to stay independent and not let other people's lies affect our mood or choices. Anna, a committed accountant, starts to notice mistakes in her co-worker Tom's reports. This is a great example of how to deal with a liar at work. Tom makes himself look like a good candidate for a new management job by bragging about things he hasn't done in his project reports. In every meeting, Tom adds more information to his list of accomplishments to show that he is an excellent worker. Anna was shocked and disappointed, but she didn't let her feelings get the best of her. She started taking notes and gathering proof of the mistakes in Tom's reports and the wrong project descriptions she knew about. Once she had enough proof, Anna set up a private meeting with her manager and told her everything objectively, not showing that she was upset or angry. After reading the information Anna gave, the manager decided to thoroughly investigate all project reports and reevaluate the employee performance review process. Thanks to Anna's smart and wise approach in the journey against the web of lies, not only Tom but the whole company learned how important it is to be honest and open. We have seen the power of Stoic thought and learned how to deal with mean people in a wise way, even when facing difficult problems. Let's remember that we can always stand strong and get past any problems. As Marcus Aurelius said, the point of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to avoid finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Let courage and wisdom lead us to success and peace, and let's work together to make the world a better place where respect and honesty are highly valued. Number 5. Mastery of manipulation. In the complicated world of people, the art of dominance often lurks in the shadows, ignoring beauty and charm on the outside. But Stoic philosophy says that the soul should always be ready to face harsh truths. Evil comes in many forms, and lies can be told to anyone. If someone wants to control others, they will come up with complicated plans and lie all the time. People who want to dominate others often try to control them like puppeteers control dolls to their will. To avoid deception, one must develop their intuition and sharpen their mind. There are subtle signs to pay attention to, like gentle whispers of concern deep within the soul. Those who lie may use flattery to win over their targets or hide their true intentions behind a facade of fake EMP. Falling into the trap of deception is like playing a psychological game of abuse and betrayal. It can change your life and leave deep scars. Once the web of deception falls apart, victims may feel like they are still caught in a web of lies. If someone lies to you, you could lose your independence and sense of self-worth. This can break trust and ruin relationships. Stoic philosophy can help you stay strong against the tricks and traps of deception. By focusing on self-awareness and meditating, you can strengthen your spirit against the allure of deception. Stoic philosophers say that we should look for virtue and courage within ourselves, because it is only in the crucible of hardship that we are tried for true patience on the journey of facing deception. Stop and think about the weak spots and deepest fears that con artists try to take advantage of. How can we become more discerning and patient in the face of deceit? In a world full of it, ethics can help you find self-control and a deeper understanding. By following the teachings of Stoic philosophy, you can bravely and logically navigate through the rough waves of deception. Remember what the ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus said: "It's not events that bother people, it's their judgments about them. Choose wisely and develop the values that lead to true freedom and inner peace." Life throws us many surprises and people who don't bring us good. According to Stoic philosophy, one of the most important things you can do to protect yourself and learn more about yourself is to recognize the signs of a bad person. Next, we'll open a door to the mind and invite us to go deep into ourselves to find out the truth about evil. From the point of view of the Stoic philosopher, we don't just look for signs of evil. We also look deeper into our own nature. Let us be guided by questions like, who are we really? And what is human nature? During this conversation, we will not only look at the outer signs of evil, but also go deep into our souls to learn more about ourselves. This will help us build a more authentic and meaningful life by discovering our true nature. When people talk to each other, influence is a word that is often associated with bad feelings and mistrust. However, if you look at manipulation through the view of Stoicism and moral concerns, you can also see it as the skill of influencing others on purpose. Mastering manipulation isn't about lying or controlling people. It's about knowing and navigating the complicated ways people act so you can get good results. The skill of persuasion and influence is a strong one that, when used morally, can bring about good and significant changes in personal relationships, the workplace, and in society as a whole. In this lesson, we'll look at 5 important rules that will help you master manipulation in an honest and useful way. These rules are based on Stoic philosophy to make sure they are used with respect and integrity. Learn what drives people. Identify core drivers. Figure out what drives people at their core, whether it's safety, approval, power, or a sense of joining. If you know what these drivers are, you can make sure that your method meets their needs and wants. Understand and connect. To make real links, show empathy. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes helps you see things from their point of view, which makes your impact stronger and more genuine. Develop your emotional intelligence, awareness of and control over your feelings. Being aware of and in charge of your emotions keeps you from acting without thinking. Being stable makes you a better and more reliable leader. Understand and control other people's emotions. Understand and react to other people's feelings. With this skill, you can have talks and act in ways that take into account how other people are feeling. Learn how to talk to people. Use of language strategically. Pick your words wisely to get your point across, clearly and convincingly. Don't use words that are dishonest or meant to trick people. Instead, use words that show respect and honesty. Languageless cues. Pay attention to how people move, talk, and show how they feel. Often, these cues can say more than words and can make your impact much stronger. Use the power of giving and receiving giving to gain. Know the concept of reciprocity, which says that when you do something kind or generous, it makes other people feel like they owe you something. Use this to make people like you and help them work together. Balance and fairness. Make sure that what you do is fair and reasonable, which will help people respect and trust each other. This keeps your impact from being seen as taking advantage of people. Exercise moral influence fit with Stoic values. If you want to use your power in a way that fits with Stoic values like justice, wisdom, and courage, do so. Make sure that your goals are good and that the way you do things is moral. Strive for win-win results. Try to get results that are good for everyone. This method not only helps you reach your goals, but it also makes your relationships and image stronger. Mastering trickery is more than just being able to persuade people. It also means being honest, respectful, and aware of how people work. If you follow these rules, you'll be able to handle the complicated web of human interactions with skill and morality, which will lead to deeper and more satisfying interactions. Remember that real mastery is not controlling other people, but inspiring and guiding them to achieve results that are good for everyone. Number 6. An unexpected revealing sign. In our daily lives, we walk through a world where people from different cultures and locations share common areas. Along this path, we meet a wide range of people, from those who are kind and trustworthy to those who can hurt us. Because of this, it is very important to be aware of and stay away from people who are out to hurt you. Stoicism is one of the oldest philosophical systems. It not only helps us understand how to deal with life, but it also gives us the tools to spot evil and use those tools in our daily lives. By learning more about this philosophy, we can find out more about ourselves through 5 signs of a bad person. Fraud. In talking to people. Evil people often try to be too nice and loving, and they use sweetness in their speech to hide what they really are like. Stoicism tells us to be honest and sincere. When you talk to someone, look at their actions and see if they match what they say. Bad people rarely take responsibility for their deeds. Instead, they tend to blame others or circumstances. Not taking responsibility is a big trait of bad people. To be patient, we should control what we can, accept what we can't, and always be responsible for what we do. Not caring. Not being able to relate to others shows that the person is bad because they don't care about their feelings or wants and only look out for themselves. Stoicism shows us how important it is to have strong community ties and empathy, as these are the building blocks of all healthy relationships. Abuse of power. Bad people often want to control and dominate other people. They may use their status or power to hurt or control others. Stoicism encourages people to use their power wisely for the good of everyone, not to oppress or control others. Strong self-love or admiration can make someone selfish and not care about other people's feelings or interests. They often put their own needs first and won't think twice about trampling others to get what they want. Stoicism teaches us to be humble and put the needs of others ahead of our own. Not only does noticing and understanding these signs help us stay safe from bad people, but it also helps us build healthy, long-lasting relationships. Stoicism stresses self-control acceptance, and most importantly, living a moral life. By applying these lessons to our daily lives, we not only avoid bad people, but we also move toward a happier and more meaningful life. Life is full of challenges, and Stoicism has taught us that one important skill is to recognize and stay away from bad people. Hopefully this video has helped you avoid bad people and made your life stronger. Remember, it's not enough to just recognize them. You have to do something about it. Have you ever seen these signs? What have you done to protect yourself? If you thought this video was useful and inspiring, please don't forget to like and share it with others. To keep getting such helpful content, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos from us. Thanks for joining us and sharing your thoughts on Stoic philosophy with us. Remember that in a world full of problems, real power lies in controlling our reactions and choosing the path of ethics. Keep watching the next videos shown at the end of today's video and follow Stoic principles to find strength and peace in your soul. Goodbye, and see you in the next videos.